Welcome back, everyone. Friar Tuck here. This is my epoch. Okay, this is the Reds ballpark, the Great America Stadium, the Great America Ballpark. There's a couple of Great America buildings around here as well. But anyways, I'm here at the ballpark, and I wanted to have a conversation with you guys. There's a lot that's going on here in Cincinnati. Every day something new unfolds. In some ways, the homeless life moves fast, and there are certain things that just unravel really quick, and then other things are slower than molasses, and those are the things that you wish would actually speed up. But sometimes, you run into issues. So I have been, I've been telling everybody I'm going to make a decision here real soon. No later than the 26th. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I ride train? Do I take bus? What is it that I do? Because I got so many opportunities, and it's like every time I think, okay, this is going to be my decision, something else comes up and says, well, what about this? Well, what about this? And well, what about this? And my knee-jerk reaction was like, I'd like to do it all. I mean, I want to stay here, I want to go south, and I want to ride train all at once. Can I split myself into three? Wish I could, but no, I can't. All right, so I have to make a decision, and I have to run with it, and I have to be okay with that decision, especially with the consequences of not doing the other decisions, because each has positive consequences and negative consequences. Positive consequences for leaving Cincinnati is that I get warmer temperature. I don't have to have that much gear, and I can also get on trail, which gives me a better place to sleep. Okay, whereas the negatives are, I have access to money, I have access to all kinds of stuff here that I don't really have access to in other places. But are those benefits greater than the price? I mean, am I getting a bang for my buck, essentially? If I ride rail, come to find out, the guy, he's ridden rail, but he was a tag-along. He doesn't know how to navigate. I'm not really willing to take that big of a risk with somebody else and my life in their hands, and just kind of be like, okay, just follow them blindly. Not willing to do it. Now, me, and the weird thing is so I started looking up certain things about navigation and kind of how to figure out where I'm going and certain things like that. And I'm already pulling up stuff in maybe an hour's worth of self-educating. I'm already pulling up enough information to where I could, other than experience, theoretically, I can navigate us better than he could, and that's really not good. So what do I do? Do I just hop the train and hope for the best? What do I do? Okay. And then there's also going down to Gainesville. I have people that I like in Gainesville. Hold on. The positive and negative consequences of the train. The positive consequences, it's content. I get to teach you guys things. I get a new experience, and it just means more that I get to add to my resume as far as things that I've done and things that I've accomplished. The negative consequences are the legal trouble I could get in if I get caught, just by coming across the railroad police or whatever it may be. Okay. Now the other thing is Gainesville. The positive, it's warmer than here. I have people that I know down there, and but the negative consequences are there's just really no real way for me to make money there, or to get any type of hustle going on. Even under the table. I mean, I'm probably sure that if I got creative, I could do something. But just as far as ease of access to material, it is easier to get access to resources here than it is down there, but it is what it is. So those are the positive and negative consequences. Now, here in Cincinnati, some of these opportunities that I was looking at, counting on, using as my basis for staying here, those things are kind of closing up in a lot of ways. So there's somebody who's an activist for, I think it's for like LGBTQ or transgender or something like that, something to do within that realm of people. And this person apparently gets articles published all the time that this person is actually able to help the editor. Well, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to be an activist, and I would like to do the same thing, and this is what this paper is for. It's an activist newspaper to bring people's awareness to social issues that are happening. But come to find out today that my politics and the way that I describe things is starting to offend the editor and those that are in the coalition that have say over whether or not my articles go in. Now I'm being told, well, we can't just put every article you write in. We just can't do it. The thing is that's what it is that I'm homeless. I am not only homeless, but I'm also a vendor, and I have an issue in which I want to be an activist about. There's supposed to be a special section for us there. And so if I write an article, I should be able to have it published. They should, they should be able to expand the paper. If there are more articles that month, it brings value. It helps us sell the paper much better. But no, they kind of want to limit our space and keep it for other things. And, this is the coalition for the homeless is supposed to be for us. It is supposed to be representative of the homeless. And, so therefore, I don't understand why I'm getting why I'm starting to see this type of resistance. Okay, and so I've published the article that I wrote, and published it in its entirety without any censorship over on my blog site. Is the How Cincinnati Can Fix Homelessness. Okay. That was the title of the article. That is what I'm trying to get into the street vibes, but it does not. It looks like it's going to get watered down because I'm using strong language because I really want to drive the issue home. I really want to. Think of it like a salesman. You're doing a hard close. You're trying to really get people to open their eyes and understand that things are going on. You have people now that are starting to talk, as I'm starting to talk about this, how homelessness is expanding and they're not talking about it. Well, now you have other homeless that have been hearing me say this. They're like, yeah, I finally started looking around. You're right. It's really growing out here. I said, and they're not even talking about it because they don't want people to know what's going to happen. Anytime there's any economic downturn, whether it be 2008 or something lighter than 2008, whether it be the Great Depression or something lighter than the Great Depression, there is always going to be those that are going to be affected and end up out here, and the homeless population will grow. It's how you deal with those people that determines how you come out of it. Because as people, as the lower hanging fruit gets trimmed off, and we have to restructure the workforce a little bit. We need those people to get back in the workforce. We don't need those people out of the workforce, and those people will end up leaving the workforce because as they get out here and they get around people that are doing drugs, they will end up becoming addicts themselves by association. It happens more often than not. And I had a girl today just tell me exactly how right I was, because of some stuff that she's been through. And so these people, when they've been on a bender, or when they've been doing it for many years, they look like the Walking Dead. They look like zombies. And so I use that as a way to say, if you don't act, what's going to happen is the drug epidemic is going to expand, and you're going to have zombie cities. And they did not, that right there, that was stereotypical. It was too harsh. It was this, it was that. It's like, no, this is the reality of what's really going to happen. We cannot water down the truth and make it sound all nice and fluffy because we want your dollar and we don't want to upset you in any which way. Oh, poor you. No, this is a serious issue. And every day it is becoming more and more visible. Okay. And there are people that are coming here, and now that I'm putting out how-to videos and really trying to teach people how to be homeless and have success without getting caught up in all the drugs and all the other stuff, I'm getting traction, and I'm seeing a lot more people subscribe. And I'm sure that as time goes along, this channel will become much more popular. And I'm kind of, it saddens me, but at least I know that this might be the one area where I can make an effectual change. Trying to start a nonprofit, trying to carve out my own place and do a solution. It's not that I'm stopping at the first obstacle, because I've gotten other obstacles that I've just kept going and keep going. But it just, the writing on the wall says that by the time I get to all of this, by the time I actually get it set up after fighting an uphill battle the whole way, because my idea is unique, okay? And so therefore, with it being unique, it's going to take a lot longer to implement. And then once these cities start seeing it, then they have to adopt it. By then, the homeless epidemic could be raging on and nobody knows what to do, and it's too long for them to be able to do anything. Now, there will be some smart people that might have this idea, and this is something that you can start working on in your community. Maybe I need to turn you guys into local activists that are talking to your politicians. Those of you that like to write letters or interact with your politicians, or maybe you haven't, you just want to go see them. You might want to ask them this question: what happens if we have 90 million Americans that are homeless? What is the plan to help those people and make sure that they don't become part of the statistics of the homeless, of drug users? And once everything gets back to normal, you are able to they're able to get back to work and rejoin the workforce without losing a large segment of our workforce. Ask them that. Ask them what their plan is, and they'll stutter all over the place. They'll say they got this and they got that, but all this stuff out here, it's just band-aids. It's just so that they can get money from the government. I keep trying to tell other homeless people, it's like this: you don't have money in your pocket. You're not the customer in the sense that, you know, you get to vote with your dollar. You get to vote with who you choose to do services with. If you don't do services, they don't get funding. And if they don't get funding, then they don't stay around, or they have to restructure and realize what they did wrong because they pissed off a large enough segment of the homeless community. But the thing is instead of avoiding these places and not letting their patronage allow them to get money, they just keep going back and taking the abuse anyways. Okay, so with that being said, I as much as I want to be here in Cincinnati, I think if I just wanted to be a regular homeless person and I didn't want to do anything, this would be a perfect place for me. I want to do stuff, and it's gonna be very hard for me just to sit on my hands and to do nothing. I'm not that type of person, so I may end up having to get on the road just because just all the dumb stuff. I don't know. Again, I'm still thinking about it, but as far as getting on the train, I don't trust the guy enough because he doesn't know navigation. And if he doesn't know navigation, that is a risk I'm not necessarily willing to take with myself. And so that's why that may not be happening with him, but it is something that I want to work towards because it's an experience I want to have. There's several subscribers that have done it. If you guys want to give me your tips, especially, I need navigation trips. Everything else I think I can get figured out. It's just, how do I navigate? How do I choose a route? How do I get from point A to point B? So if I want to go down to Florida, how do I catch a train, and how do I know what trains to catch to go from Cincinnati to Florida? Okay, that's really what I need to know, and how to be able to figure that out so I can start mapping and routing my own trips and doing it my way. And picking up stragglers along the way. That way I've got road dogs. Okay, but that's, with this guy, it's not something that's going to happen, but it is something that is going to happen. As far as staying here, if it's always going to be an uphill battle to fight, instead of, I think at this point in time, an idea like this should be embraced, especially considering the movement for housing first. This right here fits within the housing first initiative. And this will actually help them do an authentic housing first program. But instead of doing that, they're like, no, we need to worry about affordable housing. And it's just, the affordable housing is a joke. Okay, and yet they're getting behind that issue instead of, trying to find a real housing first solution to actually solve homelessness. They're putting their eggs in the wrong basket for whatever reason. And Gainesville, if I go down there, it's just to visit the old lady and make a little bit of money because she said she'd pay me to do some work. And then I'm going to be hopping out of town within a month or two to my next destination, wherever I decide to go. And at that point in time, I might get on trail just because I need to rebalance myself. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think I should do. I mean, I'm kind of giving you the lowdown. Now that you understand a little bit more of what's going on, what would you do in this situation? What decision would you make that would make the most impact, that would do what is necessary to be done? And that means, if that means walking away, that means walking away. You know how to help the channel, become a subscriber. Everything else is down in the description. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you get notice of my live streams and everything else that comes out. So thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. for our live stream.